Coming up on Around San Diego, many cities are now enforcing encampment bans, but that's putting law enforcement in difficult positions. Our Brian White rode along with the sheriff's homeless outreach team in Ramona. And what the San Diego Police Department is saying after violent arrests were all caught on camera in the Gaslamp. Plus, a contract has been secured that's aimed to expand and repair the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do begin with cities across the county banning homeless encampments. And now local deputies are tasked with clearing people out. CBS 8's Brian White joined the sheriff's homeless outreach team in Ramona to see some of the work they're doing there on the ground.
Morning, Sheriff's Homeless Outreach.
I rode along with deputies from the HEART team as they approached an encampment on county property, not far from the Ramona Public Library.
You talked to our social workers last time, right?
The two deputies were accompanied by social workers from Health and Human Services with the goal of connecting people to services and benefits they might be entitled to, like food stamps and other programs.
Arturo, is there any other people staying over here that might need some assistance?
One of the challenges they face is 90% of people they contact don't want any help and refuse it, which is why they revisit some of the same spots every week.
The more times we come out and see them, the more they decide to trust us, and they know that we're there to help, and they see that the programs are legit.
Deputy David Smith handed out several doses of Narcan. He says fentanyl is a big problem, so they try to prevent overdoses.
Are you interested in carrying some Narcan in case you come across somebody that might need help?
While there is no encampment ban here in the unincorporated area of Ramona, some cities like Vista and San Marcos have recently passed such bans. And since they contract with the Sheriff's Department for policing, it falls on them to enforce.
We need the sheriff's partnership to be able to use jailing folks who have been asked, some more than 20 separate times, to clean up their encampments, to go to the shelter, to accept the help that we're offering.
Vista's Mayor John Franklin voicing frustration after they just passed their ban last week.
I don't want to jail people for living on the street, but when people are living in an encampment and have been asked 20 separate times to come to the shelter and to get off the streets and they still refuse, jail has to be a last and worst option.
Sheriff Shelly Martinez told CBS 8 that they'll address violations to the new law on a case-by-case basis. But as far as arrests or jail time, she said, quote, a violation of a city camping ban ordinance does not rise to the level of a bookable offense in the county jails, end quote. Meanwhile, deputies on the HEART team in Ramona are still focused on a resources-first approach.
As far as the Sheriff's Department goes in the unincorporated areas, we're just going to continue on the path of offering resources to these people, assisting with cleanups and then assisting with getting them into programs.
In Ramona, Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thank you. Well, the suspect from a double homicide in Point Loma on Wednesday has been identified. Police say 60-year-old William Bushy is accused of shooting 3 people, including his mother, at a home on Zola Street. A woman in her 60s and a man in his 30s both died. Another woman in her 80s, who's been identified again as Bushy's mother, is expected to survive. Police say a shotgun was found near the front of the home where Bushy was arrested. Right now, it's unclear what led up to that shooting. He is still in the county jail, booked on 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted homicide. Now to disturbing video from the Gaslamp showing San Diego police in violent clashes with people partying in the area. Several people were arrested and at least 1 officer was hurt. The intense confrontations with law enforcement that you just saw happened on Saturday night. CBS 8's Steve Price has more from downtown.
Get back! Get back!
Chaos Saturday night in the Gaslamp. San Diego police officers throwing punches and pushing people. This man almost hit his head on the curb.
He wasn't violent towards the officer, and he didn't cause a threat towards anybody else.
Corey White caught the shove on camera. He says it happened around 1:30 as the clubs were starting to let out.
You know, obviously we need police down here because, you know, bad stuff does happen down here, so we need them down here. But in certain instances, sometimes they just go a little harder than what is warranted. And you can see it on everybody's reactions. Everybody's kind of like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Corey says there's no question a lot of the people were under the influence of alcohol, but he says lately the officers have been coming in overly aggressive from the start, making a bad situation worse.
Maybe a different approach in those situations that, you know, are less violent would be better.
Here's another interaction where a man spits toward officers after they shoot pepper spray at him. Several officers charge the man and take him to the ground. Corey believes the officers were extremely aggressive with their pepper spray on Saturday night.
Even last week when I was filming, I got sprayed, and a lot of people around me, everybody's coughing, and we didn't do anything.
San Diego police sent CBS 8 a statement saying, in part, the video of this incident does not show the events in their entirety. The subjects in question were arrested for being involved in a fight and attempting to batter a police officer after interfering in the course of the officer's duties and for spitting at the officer. At least one officer sustained injury as a result of actions taken by the suspects. Overconsumption of alcohol continues to be an issue within the Gaslamp district. SDPD will not tolerate unsafe or criminal behavior, and those who do commit crimes should expect to be arrested. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Steve, thanks again. Well, you know it. We are working for you here at CBS 8. And after a fire broke out at a known squatter home in North Park, neighbors tell us that they are hoping this will be what finally forces some change. We looked at the property records for the two homes at the end of Dale Street. They are owned by the same person who has refused to sign the necessary paperwork to give officers the power to make arrests on that property.
Working with the owner today, hopefully we can make some grounds, make some efforts and receiving that paperwork, getting that paperwork signed, so we have legal authority to enforce any issues, any potential crimes that are happening inside the building or on the property.
All right, so crews boarded up the burned house to keep people out. The property next door suffered only minor damage. Neighbors tell us they are concerned the squatters will just move there. Well, right now, Chula Vista police are investigating a potential hate crime at an elementary school. CVPD says someone vandalized the front of Enrique S. Camarena Elementary last weekend. There were racial slurs and a swastika. This was the second graffiti incident at this school in just 3 days. We're told the school is working closely with police during this investigation.
As we were notified, the district sent out staff, our custodial staff, our safety team, and our facilities team to clean up the graffiti. So all graffiti was cleaned up this morning before students started to arrive. And we're working very closely with the Chula Vista Police Department and our safety team to ensure, number one, that this does not occur again and for justice to be served.
Yeah, so right now, police do not believe there is a current threat to the staff or students, but school resource officers are on campus to ensure everyone's safety. Well, now to an update on the ongoing sewage crisis in the South Bay. We are learning that new details about a contract that's set to expand and repair the South Bay International wastewater treatment plant. Now, $400 million in federal funding was secured by the congressional delegation to go toward the project. The overall plan is to double the current treatment capacity of about 25 million gallons of wet waste per day to 50 million gallons per day. The idea is this will stop 90% of untreated water from reaching our coast. Local leaders are celebrating this contract.
Good news is about this plant and really moving forward. We finally got a very good step forward with this process. And I particularly want to thank the commissioner.
Yeah, so this project is expected to take about 5 years. You can read more about it on our website, cbs8.com. And a major project is underway right now to help ease congestion in Carlsbad. The goal is to replace the aging Bataguitos Bridge with a new double-track one. Before construction can begin, Sandag needs to ensure they are protecting species that live in the water, so they are sending divers for research.
We have permits with every research agency you can imagine, and we're all doing what we can to protect the sensitive resources and minimize our impacts.
The estimated cost of the project is $165 million. The track is part of the Los Angeles, San Diego, San Luis Obispo Coastal Rail Corridor, which Sandag says is the second busiest intercity passenger rail line in the U.S. Construction is expected to be complete in 2028. Well, right now, local leaders are back to the drawing board as they try to come up with legislation that would keep sexually violent predators out of neighborhoods. The proposed Sexually Violent Predator Accountability, Fairness and Enforcement Act, or the SAFE Act, would have required public safety to be considered during SVP placement. The Department of State Hospitals had to approve SVP placements before its vendor, Liberty Healthcare, assigned a placement.
Department of State Hospitals to continue to put them into neighborhoods is completely unbelievable and unacceptable.
After making it through the Senate, the SAFE Act was blocked by the Appropriations Committee before it was even voted on in the Assembly. So the SAFE Act cannot move forward this year, but the same measure or something similar will likely be introduced next year. We'll keep you posted. And next week, San Diego's County Board of Supervisors will decide whether to protect banned books. Last year, more than 4,200 books nationwide were targeted for removal from libraries, according to the American Library Association, a 65% increase from the previous year. This proposed countywide policy, which focuses on public libraries, not school libraries, would make sure that those challenged books are accessible. The Board of Supervisors is set to vote on this proposal next Tuesday. Well, still ahead, if you're looking to retire early, you may need to save more than you were originally thinking. Our Alex Lai breaks it all down. Well, those looking to retire early need to do more than just save. A new Go Banking Rates analysis found how much is needed in every state to retire at age 50. And unsurprisingly, California is ranked as the second highest. CBS 8's Alex Lai breaks down how much money you need to save to retire early or even retire at all.
The analysis finds that you need at least $2.7 million to retire in California by age 50. And if you want to retire in San Diego, that number may be even higher.
It is realistic in the fact that people are going to do it. People have done it. People are probably going to continue to do it down the road. But I would definitely say it's becoming harder and harder.
Andrew Murray is the lead analyst on the Go Banking Rates study. The Bureau of Labor Statistics data used in the analysis was collected on July 1st.
We took people born 1965 to 1980, what they're spending, and kind of extrapolated that out for monthly and annually by state. And then we took those figures and kind of just multiplied them out.
Go Banking Rates found the cost to retire from age 50 to 80 without Social Security is around $2.74 million. With Social Security is about $2.71 million. To retire from age 50 to age 90 without Social Security is about $3.65 million. And to retire to 90 with Social Security is about $3.6 million. That's the average for all of California, but bigger and more popular areas such as San Diego cost more, while smaller areas such as Bakersfield cost less.
It's pretty known wide that California just is a more expensive place to live than the rest of the United States.
Murray says the biggest factor driving the cost is home and mortgage prices. Other factors are car and gas costs and food and tax prices. So how do you save enough to retire in California by age 50?
I think there are so many rules you can go by, and especially for retirement, where it's like you should have 25 times whatever you think your annual expenditures are going to be by the time you retire.
Other suggestions from Go Banking Rates include getting a financial advisor, increasing your income, and making lifestyle changes. But retiring at age 50 isn't realistic for a lot of people.
More and more people, when I talk to them, aren't talking about retire early. They're hoping to retire at all.
Murray says building savings is important for planning to retire at any age.
And just making sure you're always pushing towards that goal. Even if you might not be pushing as hard as someone who wants to retire at 50, you should always be moving in that direction towards saving up more and more for retirement.
Alex Lai, CBS 8.
It's a big number. We can do it though, right? Paradise at a price. Well, now time to take a look at your jewelry. Maybe that'll help. Right now, gold prices are at a record high. 1 troy ounce of gold is worth $2,500, and the average giant gold bar is about 400 ounces, which is worth $1 million. Christopher Altbaum with CoinMart Jewelry in Chula Vista believes 20% of your savings should be in metals.
A coin like this, at $2,500, you can put it in your pocket. You can walk pretty much anywhere and go sell it. And pretty much everyone that's ever bought gold is sitting on profit.
Higher gold prices can be a sign investors expect the Federal Reserve to cut its benchmark interest rate soon. Coming up, a video taken off our coast has gone viral. We'll show you the amazing moments all of these dolphins were spotted. Welcome back. A local whale watching company says conditions off our coast are so good they are seeing an influx of sharks and dolphins. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has details and shows us the viral video that captures some of them putting on quite a show.
Gone Whale Watching has been posting videos of their recent encounters, which have generated millions of views. They include sharks as well as dolphins leaping out of the air right next to their boat.
When these things are going higher than the wheelhouse, it's spectacular.
Erica Sackerson was the photographer aboard a recent Gone Whale Watching tour when this pod of bottlenose dolphins caught her eye as well as everyone else's on board.
You could just see them jumping like 20 feet in the air, and everybody on the boat just started pointing, and I'm like, what is everybody looking at? Almost feels like they were doing like Olympic style jumps. Like they were just all trying to be like Simone Biles and just touch the sky and come down. It was awesome.
Erica's videos are often posted on Gone Whale Watching's Instagram page. In just 1 week, this one has already generated over 7 million views. On the day it was taken, she says the boat encountered huge pods every couple of miles right off the coast of Mission Bay. Gone Whale Watching founder Dominic Biagini says there are a couple of reasons for that. For starters, there's an abundance of food.
And anchovies are a really, really popular food source, and especially for the common dolphins. But we've also been seeing bottlenose dolphins in bigger numbers. And the bottlenose dolphins are the ones that you see in those spectacular videos leaping into the air. And oftentimes when we see bottlenose dolphins here in numbers like that, it's because there's a lot of squid in San Diego waters. So most likely we have an influx of squid right now.
In addition to dolphins, Dominic says he's been seeing a lot of sharks too. He credits the sunny skies and smoother water, which make visibility much better. He captured this video of a great white just a few days ago, saying it's only the second time he's seen one far away from the shoreline.
I see them all the time in coastal waters, but it's very rare to actually spot a great white offshore.
Because of the prime conditions and increase in sightings, Dominic has added so-called great white shark trips to his tour schedule. He warns if other boaters plan to do the same, depending on where you are, use extra caution by going slowly and lifting your engines up if possible.
When you're in our very, very shallow coastal waters here, it's really crucial to keep your speed down because you don't know what might be just beneath the surface.
Dominic says doing so will not only increase your chances of seeing something spectacular, but also keep whatever it is safe from harm. Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Right off our coast. They are just incredible and so playful. I recently did a story with them as well when they saw 100 blue whales, again, right off our coast. You've got to see the video. It's on CBS8.com. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.